Welcome to Ramble 71. I just woke up and I've heard some news on the OSRS homepage. And as you see, next drop table changes in Monster Examine. They finally go into why they did the things they did, why they disabled Monster Examine, and what the true rates are now of items at next. So I feel like right now we should just go into this first things first. So basically they're just saying, and I already kind of briefly just read over this right before this ramble, but um, they said like they normally change things week one, which is totally fair, and I'm not complaining about that. I'll talk about all my feelings and thoughts about next in a second, but basically what was before yesterday was a 1 in 43 chance. Every single kill, you get a 1 in 43 chance to get a unique drop at next. Then yesterday they changed it to a 1 in 53 because they saw that items were coming into the game too quickly, apparently. Um, and I'm bothered by that, by the way, but I'll talk more about it in a second. So basically they said, like, here's kind of how it would work. So, like, Torva armor is a 2 in 12 for each piece. So, like, it's half of the time you're going to get a Torva item when you get a unique. Nile Horns, 2 out of 12. Zarite Van Braces, we already knew, were the most common, 3 out of 12. And Ancient Hilt is 1 out of 12. So this is assuming now, like, you hit the 1 in 53 roll, now you get a roll at this. And then the next sling is its separate thing. It's a 1 in 500, so that's pretty fucking rare. And what's interesting about it is this means that the next sling, again, I'm kind of just thinking about this right here on the spot, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but it looks like the smaller the team now, the better the chances of the pet are. Where generally when things come out, it's always best to do like masses. So because I'm assuming this 1 in 500 is one person gets the pet every 500 kills, not like every single person's getting a 1 in 500 roll, because I've only seen 2 pets and I've done, let me just show you real quick. I've done 689 kills. I've just had Van Braces. I have only seen 2 pets. So there is no way in hell it's a 1 in 500 per player per kill, because I was doing 80-man masses day one and I saw nothing. So crazy thing is that, yeah, you need to do smaller team sizes to hunt for the pet, which I don't know. I guess I'm fine with that. I guess it's just different than, like, when Nightmare came out. It was always best to just mass it. So very interesting. So they're saying, like, if you get MVP, which is big bones, I believe, then you get a 10% boost to the regular loot and a chance of getting a unique drop. So pretty cool. MVP means something. Let's see. They were also talking about Monster Examine, and Monster Examine's basically, like, they disabled it, for those that don't know, on week 1 and week 2. It's still disabled. But they're going to re-enable it on next Wednesday. So everybody that's been like theory crafting and shit like that can now finally know. In fact, it's already pretty much settled, like, what's good at next, but this will just help clarify it further. So that's kind of cool. That's pretty much like all that happened. So now I kind of just want to talk to you guys about how I've been enjoying next. So as you saw, I've done 689 kills. Approximate, dude, I have no fucking idea, but like day one, I did about 100 kills. Those were all in masses, or probably like 120 kills ish. They were all in, like, probably 60 through 80 man masses. Then they got rid of the 80 man masses. And then I was just kind of going into team sizes that were about like 20 to 30 for hundreds of kills. And then I've done some small teams. I've even done a few trios, very few, probably like 4 or something. Done some 6-man, some 7-man, some 8-mans with like actual teams. So it's really hard to know exactly like where I'm at drop rate wise or whatever. But apparently what people are doing are they're like counting these Nile shards as like drop chance, pretty much. So like the more you have of these, the more like you deserve an item or something. Who knows what the calculation is? And again, these can be abused as well, because you can just kill the little minions outside getting KC to get more Nile shards. So I wish, and I was saying this on stream yesterday, I really wish there was like a point system that just like you get a certain amount of points every time you kill next, or even make it even more simple and say um, like how much damage you did. And again, this kind of like for some people this might ruin the fun, but like imagine you go into next and you're doing an 80 man and boom, you did 1.25% of the damage. So then that number gets like added up. So like however much damage you did, because based on this news post, it looks like it's directly like if somebody did 50% of the contribution to the fight, they'll get exactly half the chance. Um, so it would be cool, whether in game or third party, and who knows, they could make a third party. I just wish it was in the official game where they would calculate it, where it's just like, okay, you've done this many actual kills, here's your deserved chance. Similar to Cox. Like imagine Chambers of Zarek on day one was keeping track of every single one of your points. So you truly know how dry you are and stuff. That's my opinion. I think that would be a great fucking update, and I would have loved to have seen it at next, because now you're going to get people that are like, I've done 2,000 kills, but they've all been 60 mans, and I don't have anything yet. But then you're going to have a guy that has done like 1,000 kills and has like 7 drops because all he's done is trios. Like, it just bothers me. Nobody actually gives a fuck, but I give a fuck. Anyway, so that's my little rant on there. Next, in general, I did write a few notes for this ramble, so I'm gonna try to keep on topic as much as possible. Pretty much, Next is fun. I've enjoyed it. Nothing too challenging. You're just kind of clicking potions, clicking boss. But this is such a massive grind. I believe it's like 500 to 600 hours now. Probably around 500 hours for full completion, because I believe before update it was a 400-hour grind, and now like just based off of a 1 in 43 to 153, looks like it's about a 500-hour grind now to full completion. So, yeah, it's probably like it's probably fine that it's not incredibly hard. Although I would have liked it to have been harder, just because we're gonna be here for 500 hours, like on average for full completion, which I don't know if I'm going for full completion. I'll probably treat it as Nightmare, where like even Nightmare I haven't fully completed yet, but I also don't really care to go back until I get the new wand from Raids 3 and the new Ward of Elidenis. So I haven't even completed Nightmare, but I'm okay with that because I know in the future I'll complete it. Here at Nex, all I want is full Torba. That is literally all I want. The Nilehorn would be fucking great to get kills here, like, to use it. I would love the Ancient Hilt as well, but if I have full Torva, I'm dipping. Like, I'm done at Nex until other shit comes out. Like, you know what I mean? I think that's, like, the best way to do it. Like, get what you absolutely want and need, and then dip until some later update. Because, as we've seen in the past, like, look at raids. Like, people went for their 2,000 Theaters of Blood, and then all of a sudden a fucking hard mode came out. Imagine if a hard mode next comes out. It's just like, you might as well get what you want and then leave. Let it like chill out for a second. I'm even waiting for a hard mode TOB so I can go back and get my Sang. There'll be new ornament kits. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I think it's just best to like just get what you want, dip. So, like, at Corp, I was really just fucking hoping for an Arcane, and then I would dip completely until new shit would come out. Maybe a couple years go by, and I'd go for an Ellie, because I don't think an Ellie is terribly important. The Arcane, however, with Raids 3 is incredibly important. So, anyway, a lot of rambling. The boss fight is fun. I have been asked, like, when are you going to make your guide? Like you said, you'd try to make a guide. Like, I'm not the expert at Nex. And in fact, I'm not even going to make a guide until Monster Examine's a thing and we really start figuring out the meta. I would be fine making a guide. I don't feel qualified. But then again, people just watch any fucking guide when nobody's qualified to talk about anything. So I guess it's totally fine. I can just make a fucking guide about what I do later in the future, probably in like, a few weeks or so. So I haven't done all the calculations on this, by the way, to like see, the time it takes to get a kill. I think somebody in my chat was kind of pulling out calculations of like how long it should take for you to get an item in your name. And I think it was like 20 hours of Nex to see, like, efficient Nex. It takes like 20 hours, I believe, to get an item in your name. I believe. And who knows what, like, the most efficient team size is. I think people are saying about 6 mans, maybe 5 mans. So for those that don't know, like Nightmare, before Fasani's and after all the changes had been made to normal Nightmare, if you were to do efficient Nightmare on an Iron Man, and the Iron Man part's important because like you can't have resupply alts, so like you never have to bank. With Iron Man, like you had to bank and stuff. And it would take about 36 hours to get one drop in your name, which was fucking horrible because that was like around 2 weeks for me to see an item, and because I went a little dry as well. So it was literally like every 2 weeks maybe I'd see an item. And those were doing solos every fucking day. Just to put into perspective for those that don't know, didn't follow my grind, I got 10 fucking Nightmare staves, which was like every other drop was a Nightmare staff. It was just pissing me off. I believe I got 4 in a row once, and it was just like, bro, fucking stop. So, yeah, that really sucked. 36 hours to get one item in your name is not fun. That's too fucking many hours. That just is. And to put it into perspective, TOB takes about 12 hours to get an item in your name. So it's about 3 times as rare to see something in your name, which is insane. TOB fucking nailed it. Yes, the scaling and the drop system is really funky and it's broken in my opinion. It needs to be fixed, but whatever. It encourages leeching basically. Here it's just outright damage, which I fucking love. I love it when it's just like, you did this much contribution, this is your drop chance. It's not like, oh, you didn't die? Oh, here you go. Here's some extra points for you. So TOB nailed it. 12 hours on average efficiently to get an item. That's fucking awesome. It feels refreshing. Again, I'm not even sure about next because I haven't actually done the calcs. I believe people were saying like 18 hours before the update, like for you to get an item in your name. I believe it was 18 hours. So now it's maybe if it's even more than 20. Don't fucking quote me on that because I don't know. I haven't done the calcs. I could do the calcs. I just need to go in and actually check my kill times and stuff like that. And other people can just say what they've been getting and do the calcs themselves. But I think the drops are a little bit too rare. That's my opinion. I believe TOB hit the fucking sweet spot, and I believe a lot of you can agree with me. You can let me know in the comments if you agree with me or not. I think TOB was just really well done. Perfect amount of hours to get something. It was just like you're always seeing a drop. And I think Nex should not have decreased the drop rate. They should have increased it. They should have made it... If they were to do any change at all, I would have loved to see a 1 in 43 to a 1 in 33. Increase that shit and make it more common. That's what I would have loved to see rather than the opposite. I think it's people, again, I don't want to like just assume and, like think of like what's going through the JMods heads when they make these decisions, but I think it's like, oh, people are getting too many items. That you got to keep in mind, a lot of fucking people are grinding this shit all day for an entire week straight, all day. I'm talking 16 hours a day plus. Like, they are grinding this shit. And so you see people that have 4 drops already. And you're like, oh my God, no. People are completing next too quickly. First of all, they're getting lucky as hell, which is inevitable. People are going to get lucky. People are going to get extremely unlucky. But I feel like, again, I'm not trying to say this is what's happening, but I feel like JMods see like a certain person or multiple individuals that are getting really lucky at Nex and getting a bunch of items, and there's too many items coming in because every goddamn person's killing Nex. Like, that is inevitable. To quit making the drop rates worse because items are coming into the game really quickly on week fucking 1. That's my opinion. It's just like, dude, of course there's going to be a lot of items coming in. Everyone's doing it. Let it calm down. Like, it just really bothers me that they're making this a thing. Like, so I also want to put this into perspective because people are like, wow, a 1 in 53, that's not bad at all. Okay, that's a 1 in 53 per kill. And again, like a lot of you already know, I'm just putting this into perspective for those that are kind of out of the loop of Nex. So bear with me. But if you were to do a 6-man, by the way, a 6-man team is, I think, Hey Jace was in my chat and he was saying like 6-mans are what he loves the most. And he thinks like they're probably the most optimal and most fun. Who knows about most efficient, but there's a theory crafting. Oh, a Leagues 3 theory crafting. I thought it was next theory crafting. Whatever, I'll watch that later. So A 1 in 53 now, if you were doing a 6-man, it would take you over 300 6-mans to see an item in your name. Like, and I already think it was a little bit too rare. Like, I mean, previously it was, what would it be? A 1 in, like a 1 in 240, I guess, to see an item in your name. And, I don't know. I feel like that's a bit too rare because, like, so I also want to put this into perspective for those that are doing masses still. I know nobody doing 60-man masses because there's not even 60 people in any world anymore. But for when people were doing 60-man masses, I'll even go to the 1 in 40 real quick. Like, it would be, what is that? Like 25. You would have to do 2,500 60-mans to see an item in your name. You know what I mean? Now it's even fucking worse. Now it's a 1 in 3,000. So if you are doing massive masses, like 60 mans, again, I don't think those are even a thing anymore. I think like the most you can kind of see now is like a 30 man. Unless there is like a mass world, dedicated mass world. Do not do masses because it's not worth. It would be worth, and the cool thing I like about Nex as well is that there's no scaling. I'm fucking all about no scaling. Hell yeah. But there also are transitions and downtime and all that shit. So the downtime alone makes it so like you want to have the slowest kill as possible, or like you want to have the smallest team size possible because then that percentage of downtime decreases massively. So I love it that there's no scaling, but I think the drop rates are fucking rare. And by the way, doing 6-mans, you're like, oh, 300 6-mans, that's not that bad. But when you actually start doing 6-mans, like those take a decent amount of time to complete, and it's a lot of supply usage and everything like that. So like, I don't know, whatever, you know, I again, I don't even know like the actual calcs on like how many hours it takes and these efficient sizes. I think it's around 20 hours. I think it's too rare. You guys can let me know. A lot of people are like, stop fucking complaining, but it's just, I don't know, like, just don't change drop rates. They were fine. Anyway, that's enough about that. The other thing that they did get rid of was the red door X. So when you were in here during some of the phases where your melee distance of Nex, you would walk under Nex and then click the door once, and it would just stall you underneath, and it counts as like a red X where Nex doesn't move at all. And they got rid of that. I'm pretty annoyed by that. I think those little quirky interactions you can do with the game, these little bug abuses, but like these little things you can do in the game that have always been in the game, they're charming, they're quirky. It's old school RuneScape. Like, let us please do this. Like, it's nothing game breaking. It's just what's in the game already. Imagine right now they were to just get rid of all red Xing because it's not what they intended. So like you go to, you know, whatever the hell you do red Xing on, like any of the Zami or Bandos methods. Imagine they just got rid of it, so now it just doesn't work because, oh, we didn't intend for you to do that. It's just annoying. I feel like everybody would just be annoyed by that. Like, stop. Like, let us fucking just enjoy the mechanic that's in the game naturally. Anyway, so I'm bothered by that. You guys can let me know. I know they have their vision for the boss. I think that was totally cool to have a little red X thing going on. You could still red X. It's just a lot more complicated now. And then they've also made changes. I don't really know exactly what's happening, but apparently if you're under Nex for like over 7 ticks, maybe it was 9 ticks, I think it was 7, then Nex will jump around to like another spot, which is, that's fair. Like that I think that is a cool mechanic. I think that's all they needed to do. I think previously on like the Zaros phase, which is the final phase, I believe Nex could only jump around once. So, like, if somebody were to be under too long, Nex would only jump once, and then at that point, you're good to go. Like, you could just stand under for as long as you wanted. And then Nex would just naturally hop to the next guy, you know. But now it hops if you're under it too long. And I think that's that is a fair change. You know, that's what they intended. But keep the red X at least, so then there's timing with it. So you have to click the door, wait 7 ticks, click on the boss again. Like, things like that where it actually takes a little bit of skill, but it's still keeping the charming mechanics of old school. My opinion, again. The other thing is, yeah. So I pretty much, that's pretty much kind of what I'm thinking about for the boss. That's mainly my thoughts. As I said earlier, I am going for full Torva. So I'm just putting it out there. I cannot do anything else until I get full Torva. So again, you can kind of tell how annoying it is for these drops to all of a sudden be like 15% more rare or something like that. I believe it's 15. It's just annoying because, you know, like, where do you draw the line? People that don't have a problem with it, I want to ask, like, when would you have a problem with it? Would you have a problem with it if this were to turn from a 1 in 43 to 1 in 86? Would you have a problem that, like, where do you draw the line? I think it's annoying that they decrease the drop rates at all. Like, in any form, I think it's fucking annoying. So people have been saying, oh, it's fine, quit fucking complaining. But it's like, okay, when would you start complaining? What number would this need to fucking be for you to start complaining? Because I think this is already obnoxious. Anyway, just food for thought, I guess. I'm going for full Torva. I can't leave here until I get it because everything I'm doing revolves around having like good melee gear, even Corp, even Seracnus, shit like that. So I just got to get full Torva, which is fine. I've enjoyed Next for the most part. It's, again, the little changes are a little annoying. Drops spawning underneath Next now, like everybody's drop spawning underneath Next in a 20-man or lower is a little annoying. I'm just going to embrace it. Like, whatever. If that's what they wanted, that's cool. People are like, oh, that's how it used to work in RS2. Like, okay, cool, but like, it's annoying. Anyway, yeah, so that's a little complaint. I don't want to go too much into that because it's like, whatever. You just have to walk back. But yeah, that's pretty much all I want to cover on Next. For those that are wondering, it is day 13 of my New Year's resolutions. I have not drinking any sugary drinks. I've not drinking any caffeine. I've been water only. I've been having a lot more energy, I feel like. I feel like I can stay up the entire day. I don't feel like I'm too drowsy. Again, I'm still a gamer. I'm still slightly a degenerate, but like, I don't feel like I need to, like, I wake up from a nap and then I'm instantly tired 4 hours later because of just the caffeine and the fucking probably lack of water. I always drink a lot of water, even when I was drinking caffeine, but definitely I drink more water now than I used to because I feel like I drink the same amount of fluid, but now it's all water. Anyway, I've been enjoying it, and I'm not trying to preach here, but like, if anybody has never taken a caffeine break, I would recommend it. It's kind of cool. The first 5 days kind of suck. You get little like withdrawal headaches depending on how much caffeine you intake. Like, already, I didn't really drink that much, so it wasn't that bad ever. I never got like horrible migraines, just little headaches here. But then after like a week and a half, you start just having a lot more energy. It's kind of cool. So it's boring. I will say the downsides are boring. I see like a sugary fucking Coca-Cola. I'm like, God damn, that looks delicious. But you know. So life gets a little bit more boring because you're just drinking water all day. But like, you do feel so much better just throughout your day. Anyway, break a sweat every day. I have been doing that. I've been slacking a little bit, although I have broken a sweat every day. That sweat varies, but I've been trying to keep up with that. And so yeah, that's a little update on how the IRL resolutions are going. Next week, Roydy will be on the Sebe cast. So here in a little second, down in the description of this video, there will be a Twitter link. Please feel free to follow it. I announce every single Sebe cast on my Twitter, where you can have topics and other shit like that. So feel free. Roydy will be on the cast. I'm doing the announcement tweet today. Very excited to talk. I've never talked to the guy before. I think he's fucking awesome. I think his streams are awesome. I think he's just a great streamer, and it's going to be cool to just talk and, you know, about whatever you guys want. Again, topics on Twitter. Go follow me. Mod Aiza, confirmed, will now be on the Sebe cast the week following. So very excited to talk to Aiza about everything that's been going on and other things like that. Again, I'm going to ask for topics. For that one, I'll probably go to Reddit as well and just ask Reddit for topics, as I've done with the Mod Sween and the Gentle Tractor casts. Yeah, really looking forward to them. And I'm not going to spoil any future guests for February or anything yet, but definitely going to be a fucking awesome year of the Sebe cast. So, yeah. let me quickly go to my Twitter because I did ask Twitter for topics on this ramble. I didn't get many. I think I got like 2 or something, maybe 3. Just click it real quick. So, yeah, it's basically just Leagues 3 stuff. So, your thoughts on Leagues and its effects on the game. I think Leagues are a great addition to the game. I think it's fucking a fantastic idea. I think Kieran was kind of the one that sort of was inspired by whatever that game is that Ari Slash plays. Whatever the Leagues thing that people already do, It's inspired by some game, and I just can't think of it right now, but as soon as you say it, I'll know. Oh, Path of Exile. That's it. Anyway, so it's inspired by that. I think Leagues are fucking awesome. I think a yearly league is cool. I always thought the 2 months or over 2 months was a bit long. I seriously think that league shouldn't be no longer than 6 weeks, which I think this league's is going to be 6 weeks long, which I think is good. Even a month would be fine, but I think 6 weeks is a decent chunk of time and allows you to kind of invest yourself a bit more, which is cool. But 2 months plus was kind of pushing it. I think they're great for the game. I've never done them. I'm considering doing leagues. It's coming out next week, so I'm considering playing it, making a little series or something. Not even a series, but just like some videos on it, maybe like 4 videos on it. Again, considering. Don't get your hopes up too high, because if I start pulling Torva or something, if somehow I spooned insanely and got full Torva before then, I'm not going to do leagues. I'm going to move on with my account. But if I still don't have any Torva and I'm just like kind of getting bored of necks and shit, I'll probably just give it a shot. Just go for it. I want to try leagues, but I also love my main Iron account and progressing on there. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know by next week. Who knows? Maybe even Roydy will convince me. I was saying that, like, I'm going to be talking to Roydy. He's looking forward to Leagues 3. Maybe during our discussion, I'll get inspired to do it or something. We'll see. So kind of exciting. Let me know if you guys are going to be doing it in the comments. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about today. So enjoy the rest of your days, guys. I'm going to go check out this little Leagues theory crafting to see if I can get a little bit inspired. Maybe I'll give it a shot. But let me know what you guys are doing in the comments below, like what you guys are doing in game, or any other questions I asked throughout the ramble. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Give the video a like. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. About 50% of my viewers are still unsubscribed, so I'd love that. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.